This lesson will cover performing arithmetic operations. The topics will include how can you add, subtract, multiply, or divide, what are combination operators, and how does PHP increment and decrement. Moving to our first code example, as you can see, you can add values by using the plus sign. Variables can be added to other variables, as demonstrated on line 6. $add value 2 equals $add value 1 plus 22.8. Also, on line 7, you can see variables can be a combination of other variables. So we see add value 3 equal to add value 1 plus add value 2. To perform subtraction, use the minus sign. For multiplication, use the asterisk as seen on line 13. For division, we use the slash symbol. You can also make your arithmetic operations more complex by using parentheses. Notice on line 19, the innermost parentheses, add value 1 plus add value 2. That operation is then multiplied times 22. The result of that operation is then divided by 18. On lines 22 through 31, as you have seen before, we have an HTML line break with the outcome of the various operations. Notice the use of the double quotes. What the double quotes allow us to do is to expand the value of the variable instead of seeing the actual name of the variable. Moving over to our browser, let's have a look at the output from the first code example. So we see 2 plus 2 gives us 4. We add the two values together. We perform a subtraction. The division is demonstrated here, which in fact is the value of pi. And finally, the combination operation is shown last. Let's now have a look at combination operators. Moving over to our second code example, combination operators are a combination of plus, minus, asterisk, or slash combined with the equal sign. This gives us a shorter syntax, which is more efficient in some circumstances. The traditional way of performing an addition is shown on lines 7 and 8. We assign a value to $int value. We then increase the value by 3 by assigning the value of the variable to itself plus 3. This will give us the original value plus 3. The total, of course, will be 42. We can do the same thing using the combined operator. So as you can see on line 14, we assign the value to 39. We then use the combined operator of plus equal, give it a value of 3. The net result will be the original value plus 3, which will also return a value of 42. As you can see, this is a much more efficient way of representing addition if you plan to add a number to the same variable. You can also do the same thing with multiplication, subtraction, and division by saying, for example, $int value times equals 2, which will be the original value times 2. $int value minus equals 20, which will be the original value minus 20. And finally, $int value slash equals 10, which will be the original value divided by 10. Moving over to the browser, let's have a look at the output. So you can see again 42 and 42 representing the fact that the combined operator is the same thing as adding the variable to itself plus a value. In the last part of our lesson, let's have a look at incrementing and decrementing. In this example, we're assigning a value of 1 to a variable $value. On line 7, we are incrementing that using the operator plus plus, which immediately follows the variable. The net effect will be that the value is increased by 1. On line 8, when we go to echo the value, we will expect to see a return value of 2. Likewise, you can do the same thing by performing a decrement operation. On line 12, we're assigning $value a value of 1. On line 13, we are decrementing the value by 1. As we would expect, the return value will then be 0. Moving over to the browser, let's see if we get 2 and then 0. So as you can see, the result is 2 followed by 0. The purpose for using increment and decrement are to count up or to count down, oftentimes in conjunction with a loop, which will be discussed in another lesson. Another use of the increment operator is to count the number of occurrences of some event. In review, performing arithmetic operations, how can you add, subtract, multiply, or divide? You would use the plus sign, minus, asterisk, or slash. What are combination operators? Combination operators combine arithmetic operations with the equal sign. Plus equals, minus equals, times equals, and slash equals. Finally, how does PHP increment and decrement? We use plus plus immediately following the variable name to increment. We use minus minus immediately following the variable name to decrement. This concludes our discussion of performing arithmetic operations.